Every government on Earth is experimenting with AI. One of them has decided to run on it. They call it becoming AI native, and they've published the deadline, 2027. So let's start with what AI native actually means, because it's not a buzzword, it's an actual architecture. Take a digital government today. It takes your paper form and puts it on a website. You still fill it in. An AI native government has no form at all. Think of it as 3 layers. At the bottom sits the substrate, the nation's data and its computing power, held on infrastructure inside the country. In the middle sits the agent layer, the AI systems that actually do the work. They issue the permit, they route the request, they draft the decision, and on top sits the human layer, the people who set policy, audit the machines, and own the accountability. Software at the bottom and judgment at the top. So here's what it means in ordinary life. Take a baby, just born. In a digital government, her parents go home and download 4 different forms. In an AI native world, the birth itself sets everything in motion. The certificate is issued, the health insurance is registered, the first vaccinations are booked. Nobody had to ask because the system already knew. The strategy calls these life moments. And that is the real ambition here. Not a smarter office, but a quiet guardian in the background of your life. One that shows up before you ask, takes care of what matters, and then gets out of the way. So what does an ambition like that actually cost? 13 billion dirhams. That is $3.5 billion over 3 years, aimed at more than 200 AI solutions across every part of government. Over 100 of them are already deployed across more than 40 government entities today in the UAE. And the proofs is already in public. The platform is called TAMM, which is the local dialect that simply means done, as in consider it done. 3.8 million people use it. It offers over 1,150 services in more than 90 languages. And it also won the United Nations backed global prize for the best e-government project on the planet today. And inside those numbers sits the one that matters the most. 95% of requests are resolved by AI. 1.9 million cases completed through just conversational AI alone. So sit with that 95% for a second. In most countries, that is a share of requests stuck in a queue. Here is the share, and AI has already closed. So how do you actually build this? No single company builds a state. This is an orchestra, and there are many players worth naming. The capital comes from the sovereign investment vehicles, above all MGX, the Abu Dhabi fund that anchors the $500 billion Stargate program, together with OpenAI and SoftBank. The compute is built by G42, the national AI champion that runs data centers across the Emirates and is constructing Stargate UAE. Its cloud arm, Core42, operates a sovereign infrastructure, and the telecom group EAND hosts the unified government data center. The models come from the Technology Innovation Institute, home of the Falcon family, open source and Arabic first. The services reach people through TAMM, run by the Department of Government Enablement, and the talent flows out of Mohammed bin Zayed University of Artificial Intelligence. This is the world's first university dedicated entirely to AI. All of it's coordinated by a government that appointed the world's first Minister of State of AI back in 2017, before most countries had a policy at all. Now draw it as a loop. Capital funds compute. Compute trains models. Models power services. Services generate data and skilled people. And the returns flow back into the capital that started it. Around and around it goes. So let's zoom in on the compute for a second. Government runs on a fully sovereign cloud, which means every byte of government data lives inside the country under its own law. 25 entities are live on it today. 15,000 civil servants use it every day, with 160 AI tools running in a secure national environment built with Oracle and NVIDIA on a Core 42 infrastructure. And it's still scaling. Stargate UAE is targeting its first 200 megawatts this year. inside a planned 5 gigawatt campus, the largest AI campus announced anywhere outside the United States. Microsoft alone has committed over $15 billion to the country through 2029. Next, the models. And here the UAE runs on more than one engine. The Falcon models from the Technology Innovation Institute are open source. And the newest Arabic version now tops the Open Arabic LLM leaderboard. Its 34 billion parameter model outscores systems twice its size, including Llama 3.3 at 70 billion. Inside G42 sits a second engine called Inception, the region's first dedicated AI research house. It built JAYS, the world's first class open source Arabic model family, trained on a supercomputer G42 built with Cerberus and released in 20 versions for anyone to use. And just this month now, operating as Inception 42, it shipped Seraj, an Arabic first enterprise model with Microsoft and served through the Sovereign Compass platform. The country also became one of the first anywhere to give every resident nationwide access to frontier AI tools. So the pattern is simple: sovereign models where it matters, frontier partnership where it helps. Then the people, because judgment has to be built too. The Mohammed bin Zayed University opened in 2019 as the world's first built entirely for AI. AI is entering school curricula. Civil servants are retraining into AI operations, and audit roles under a program called AI for All. And in January 2026 came the world's first that nobody predicted. The national AI system was made an advisory member of the cabinet, not a ministry using AI, and AI formally advising the ministers. Now watch the loop close, because this is what makes it a strategy rather than a shopping spree. The services generate Arabic language data that nobody else on earth has. The data makes the sovereign models better. Better models make the services better, which attracts more users, more talent, and more revenue. And that refills the capital that buys the next generation of compute. Flywheels accelerate, and that is the difference. And the loop does not stop at government. Jebel Ali, one of the largest ports on earth, already runs fleets of autonomous terminal vehicles with AI routing rolled out in phases with DP World. Dubai's robotics program aims to deploy 200,000 robots within a decade and lift robotics to 9% of the Emirates' GDP. And here's the connection most people miss. Robots need a machine-readable state to plug into. Permits become APIs instead of paperwork. Inspections become data instead of visits. The AI native government is the operating system that embodied AI will run on. So what does the country get back for all of this? The projection is of 24 billion dirhams added to the GDP by 2027 and more than 5,000 new jobs, with clerks retrained rather than replaced. Stanford's AI index already ranks the UAE 5th out of 36 countries for AI competitiveness, ahead of France, Germany, Japan, and Singapore. Now the honest section, because serious builders own their risks and the public record here shows 5. First, talent. AI engineers are the scarcest resource on earth and everyone is hiring them. The answer is a pipeline being built in public. The world's first AI university retraining for civil servants and golden visas that pulls researchers in. Second, accountability. When an AI agent acts, who answers for it? The answers in the architecture itself. Agents handle the routine, humans keep the consequential. Every decision is logged. Become guardian, you cannot question, stop being a guardian. And the region is hosting the Global Privacy Assembly this year, helping write the rulebook in the open. Third, concentration. Put an entire government on one digital backbone and you have built a very attractive target. The answer is sovereignty by design. Data, identity, and incident response all live inside the country. So nobody waits on the foreign jurisdiction when something goes wrong. Fourth, chips. The supply chain runs through geopolitics. The answer is diversification. Multiple chip makers' approvals negotiate government to government and partnerships spread across Oracle, Microsoft, and OpenAI, so no single closed door can stop the build. And fifth, the gap between announced gigawatts and energized ones, because grid connections set the pace, not ambition. The answer there is sequencing. Stargate UAE lined up the power, permitting, financing, and chips as one package before breaking ground, running on nuclear, solar, and gas. None of the five is solved. All five are named, owned, and being worked. That is what execution looks like. So here's the takeaway. When a state becomes software, the scarce resource is no longer efficiency, it is trust. The playbook itself becomes an export, governance as a product. And here's the question worth sitting with tonight. If your government were an API, what would you build on top of it?